It is the Riot podcast. Hello, and welcome to Thursday. The Thursday show, June 30th.
I was going to say, you have to give the whole date.
Yeah, it is the final day of June.
Well,
so
hopefully
welcome in.
Everybody's ready for one more podcast tomorrow, and then are you fixing your hair?
Yeah,
we
no.
don't get to see it.
Did you see my hat?
Darn it.
Did you see how high
I missed it. I wasn't looking. I would have clicked onto it, and I missed it.
Hudson never shows his hair.
I apologize to all the listeners.
I'm due for a haircut.
Why don't you fix your hat one more time, let everybody see it?
Well, it's fine now.
Hair.
It's
Is it getting long?
Shake your hair out.
It is getting long, and it's like it was for a while at a spot where it was long enough that it kind of looked good no matter what it looked like. But now it looks goofy if I just let it be.
But you always, when you're out, wear a hat.
Not always.
Okay, where you're at work, you always wear a hat.
Yeah.
So
it's part of my brand.
It's your brand. It's your image. So, like, if it bothers you, is it just bothering you then when you're at home and you don't have the hat on? Or does it bother you when you wear a hat because it gets too much hair?
A little bit of that, but more around the house. Like you wake up out of bed and your hair looks ridiculous. Like I don't want that, so I gotta go get a cut.
I can understand that. I've gotten a haircut in the past 3 consecutive weeks. Every Wednesday, I'm probably going to get one today.
Mr. Moneybags over there getting his haircut every week.
It's like $20 to get your haircut. If you just skip out of McDonald's twice, then you make it work. So.
You keep it trimmed.
Yeah, but I'm already skipping out of McDonald's so I can pay for gas.
Yeah, I know. Well, the gas thing, we can't help anybody.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, you know?
McDonald's, maybe if you start offering hair trimming at the end while you wait for ordering, then we can get our haircut more often.
You trust a McDonald's employee to cut your hair?
I barely trust them for McDonald's
Exactly.
itself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not going to happen.
Sorry, McDonald's employees.
Well, you're great, but I feel like you don't want to be there. And it shows.
And you don't need one more thing.
And that's all right.
Yeah, in your day-to-day.
So today we kicked off the show touching back on something we've talked about before. And I believe I have a quote from the last time we talked about this. We talked about Caillou today on the show, right?
Yeah.
And I remember the last time we talked about Caillou, Hudson said, end quote, this will be the last time we ever talk about Caillou. And then I looked at the sheet this morning. I was like, Caillou is coming back. Is it really coming back?
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
They're
on
bringing
the
it
show,
back.
and they're bringing it back here.
It's going to be on Peacock, and we'll tell you the details in just a moment when you get to hear all the episodes that Caillou will be returning with.
That's funny. I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure we've talked about it. I don't remember that at all. I guess when it went off the air, probably. So did you watch Caillou?
You don't remember this segment?
No, I don't remember this segment.
We had a segment one time where Hudson...
Was it good or not very good?
I don't remember the aspects of it. Hudson wanted to talk about Caillou. I have seen Caillou. I couldn't tell you a thing about it other than there's like a bald baby. That's all I've got for you. And that's Caillou. But Hudson, during the segment, he was like talking about the characters. I've got them all pulled up on my laptop. I'm just shooting them one after another. He's so excited that I know all the Caillou characters' names.
That was
Arthur. You're right. That was Arthur.
Yes.
Maybe it was Arthur we talked about. We'd never talk about again.
I'm sure we've talked to. Well, we haven't until now. You just brought it up. Well, I guess I brought it up. But Caillou, I don't know much about the show either. I've just seen I remember it from being a kid and stuff. But even I remember my parents hating it. They're like, "Oh, you're not watching." You're like, don't watch that. It's so annoying. You don't want to wind up like Caillou.
It's pretty close to Arthur, but maybe not as annoying, which is why everybody just hates it.
Caillou is the DW of Caillou. Yeah, they made they made a whole show that revolved around DW and turned it into a different thing.
There you go.
Well, we talked about other things than Caillou, don't worry. We talked about some New Yorkers are kind of switching up the whole Botox surgery game by doing it on their bladders so they can make for a little longer holding time.
You want to know what I was thinking the whole time? I was like, so where would you get that with your bladder? I was trying to remember. I'm like, where would the shot go?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Where's your bladder at?
Yeah, I feel like during that segment too, we talked about how some of us choose to hold it or choose to go or whatever. And I said obviously that I like to go on the side of the highway and whatnot. And
obviously,
I feel like that's a known thing. But now that I think about it, as I'm driving down the highway, I feel like other people don't do that.
Yeah, they don't.
But I feel like it's a good way to do it though if we all just accepted it.
Well, I mean, again, you mentioned it. Good for you. You can. I'm not going to.
Yeah, obviously for females, it's a little bit different. Hudson, you've never done that?
I've done it, but it was it was out in the middle of nowhere. I didn't have any options. It wasn't like, oh, well, I could just go here or I could hold it for 15 minutes and get somewhere. It was the middle of nowhere. I really had no choice, and also nobody was around to see.
Well, it also depends on like who the car is full of.
I
'cause
agree.
I'll tell you, one time Eric had to use the bottle. We were in Pittsburgh.
Oh, I love the bottle.
Oh my gosh! And I'm just like, what are you doing?
That's incredible.
I mean, we've been around bands enough, and bands usually do that. Like it's very common. But he did, and then it was so late at night, like nothing was open, and I was just like, you have to get rid of it. Like I cannot have this in my car.
Oh yeah, it's all warm.
So he goes to throw it, but he lost the cap, so he threw it out the window, and it hit the side of my car and splashed it all over the car. I was just like, what are you doing? I was so upset.
No.
I was like, that's pee.
Oh my
But
gosh.
thankfully, those
No car washes were open at that time of night either,
since it
unfortunately.
was dark, like no one could see.
No one
but
could
I
see.
knew my car was covered in pee.
Sheesh, yeah. I've done like the Gatorade bottle and stuff.
The
Also-
Gatorade is optimal.
Yeah, if you have a Gatorade bottle, that's the one to go
You're
to.
good to
The
go.
wider top, yeah. But I've also done the plastic baggie.
No.
Which that was a little bit more dicey. I didn't have anything in the car. I had no other choice. You get to a point where you have to go. You look around. There's not an exit coming soon. Then you start looking around the car. What do you find? You not find a water bottle.
Okay,
you find a
wait.
plastic baggie.
I've never heard of plastic.
And let me tell you, a
baggie
plastic
before.
baggie does not hold as much as you think it does.
Sure.
As you start to fill up, it gets a little bit
Like a
edgy.
Ziploc bag?
Oh, I'm talking Ziploc. Yes. What do you think?
What?
You thought I was talking like a Kroger bag?
Yeah.
What do you think? I was crazy?
Those have
Yes, I
holes
do
in
think.
them.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I
No,
thought
I'm
it was
talking
a crazy thing to
Ziploc
do.
plastic baggie.
All right, I just want to ask this, and I don't want it to go any further, okay? But I just want to know.
Are you sure you want to ask?
I just have to, and then just a yes or no. Okay, you seem all real free with peeing just in public, okay? What about the other one? Are we
Oh.
okay? Like we still hold a line, don't we?
Yeah, I hold that line.
Thank you.
I cannot do that. That's a no for me. Hudson?
I've never had that come up.
I just, for my own sanity, I just wanted to hear you say.
I
no.
didn't know for sure, the Pringles can, obviously.
I can't. Okay, well, let's just end the podcast now, shall we? Oh my gosh. Well, feel free. Don't text, actually. Don't let us know anything past this. But if it's about something else, you're welcome to text 877-2-RADIO-U. And we apologize. Let's just go to the podcast.
Enjoy.
See you
Bye.
guys.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the Riot.
To make sure that your Peacock subscription is up to date. You're going to want to renew that because they are bringing back a show.
People are thinking, like, is that a mail by order? Like, you get a Peacock in the mail? Not the streaming service.
It's a trendy food box where you cook a peacock.
Oh, gosh. Now
I
you
bet
went
you
there.
that. I mean, you can eat peacock, right? I mean, you can, but do people?
That's a
They
good
must,
question.
right?
Well, I know there was a peacock farm where I used to live, like down.
Yeah, what are you farming them for if not to eat them?
Well, I think they would sell them maybe for comfort birds. I don't know. They're pretty. And they would always just be along the road. And I
Yeah.
thought, like, well, surely they must lose a lot every day because they're so close to the road. Can you imagine hitting a peacock?
Yeah. Oh, that feathers everywhere. It'd be a sadly beautiful sight, I'm sure.
It would be.
They're a pest in like California, like around LA and stuff. So maybe people do. You just catch them and eat them. I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. The new HelloFresh.
Yeah, it's Peacock. Well, no,
we do mean the streaming
Of
service.
course, the streaming service. They are bringing back the show Caillou. Do you remember Caillou from being a kid?
Not as much, but I just remember, wasn't he? He didn't have hair.
Yep, that's right.
And
Caillou
there was
is hairless.
And I didn't know if that was just it hasn't grown in yet. Like, is he
I don't know.
supposed to be that young? It wasn't there like a sound with it because I remember that more from like TikTok trends.
Oh yeah, he has an obnoxious voice to say the least. Caillou. It's a show that ran from all the way back to 1997. I don't know if it ran continuously, but it was still going until last year.
Was it a PBS show?
It was on PBS, yep. It originated, I believe, in Canada, so I don't want to, but I don't know why I even bring that up. I don't want you to think less of Canada because of Caillou. We don't all sign off on that, but Caillou is making a comeback. It didn't stay away long.
I was going to say, if it's been on till last year, is this really a comeback? I mean, we've had 1 year in between.
Well, we are going to have to wait a little while longer because it's not expected until next year. But Peacock is reigniting the flame of Caillou by bringing the show back for 11-minute episodes as well as some 44-minute event specials.
Ooh.
They're bringing back Caillou's. He's 4 years old.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's really obnoxious.
And it's not he was like a little man or just ageless.
He is definitely a whiny.
He's a big boy.
A whiny child. And what do they say? We're supposed to experience this little guy's big feelings, basically, is what we're going to do when they bring it back.
New 11-minute long and feature Caillou episodes will show his supportive family and friends.
I think they're too supportive.
As they help him. Is that why he's annoying?
Yeah, his parents need to. They need to lay down the law with him a little bit.
Well, we'll let PBS or Peacock deal with that.
Yeah.
But help him navigate his big feelings.
They are they're taking on a big reclamation project here, Peacock. I think Caillou, I don't know if there's anybody as universally hated on the internet.
Oh,
I really don't think there is.
I'm sure we can find someone.
I don't think there is.
Well, for this,
I think there's more defenders of actual criminals than there is of Caillou.
Yeah, but people hate Peacock, so don't you think it's like a perfect match made in heaven?
I don't think it's going to go great.
Well, you'll have Christmas specials.
It'd be a huge turnaround if the reviews for Caillou start coming in. Caillou, lovable. Nobody. That would be the most under the least expected thing you could possibly find.
He's not annoying anymore.
Yeah.
And his parents really made him step up as a 4-year-old.
Yeah, Caillou all of a sudden endearing, believe it or not.
We really learned a lot.
You really find yourself rooting for him.
Well, he's got Christmas, Halloween, summer vacation special, celebration of family, and an anti-bullying special.
Those are big events.
And then the rest are 11-minute episodes.
All right. Well, that's what Peacock thinks is going to win people back or win people on to Peacock.
They only have so much.
Yeah.
So.
They're taking a big swing with this one. We'll see how that pans out if they can hit it out of the park.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Well, summertime is here. Either you guys got any? I know you do, Nikki. You're driving to Myrtle Beach, right? You got a summer road trip.
Well, I have that though in a few weeks, but nothing for like this 4th of July weekend.
Okay.
So if anybody has any last minute plans they want me to tag along with, I'll be happy to.
You will not be happy to.
Why
Don't
not?
lie.
Listen, I could be the in-car entertainment. Like it'll be great. It'll be
Oh, you mean like you put on the podcast?
well, you don't have to. I'm there. So if you want to join, or at least we'll get you on the phone.
That just doesn't sound like you. I think you just want to have a quiet 4th of July is all I'm saying.
Actually, you're right. I really right.
Yeah,
I'm doing everything ahead of time so that I don't have to do anything this weekend.
If somebody invites you, you're going to, if you do say yes, you're going to complain about it behind the scenes, aren't you?
She's going to try to think of a way to get out of it. She's like, I know I said yes a week ago. My feelings have changed. I no longer feel this way.
I have this other cookout I have to go to.
It's not a reflection of you. Like, it's not you at all, but I don't want to be with you.
Yeah. Nikki just wants to stay home. Isaiah, do you have any road trips this summer?
I don't think so. Not that I know that are planned. So as of now, the farthest I think I have is like 2 hours. So not very far.
You know what, though? This might actually still apply even if you're flying. Nikki, what's the bathroom situation when you're driving with you got like a camper hookup? So can you just like pull off if you need to go to the bathroom and just go to the camper, out of the camper?
No,
it's not hooked up yet, you know?
You're not.
You have to like pop it up and then go to the bathroom?
You do. It's not like an RV. It's just a camper. So you have to pull like the slides out and stuff.
Yeah.
So like you can.
The bathroom slides out?
But I wouldn't suggest that like off the highway or something.
So you still got to find a spot to go.
You do.
Okay. Well, what if I told you that you could actually get a surgery to avoid that altogether?
The camping or the
just go into the bathroom?
What's the surgery for?
To avoid having to go for long periods of time.
To the bathroom?
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Because
this is something I can get behind here. I can use this.
I thought you guys might be interested.
Your boss at work's like, gosh, I never see you go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, do you
You're
ever
so
go?
efficient. So it's getting so much work done. This is a surgery. It's actually something that it seems a lot of rich New Yorkers are seeking out. The reason being is if you're a rich New Yorker, you vacation to the Hamptons.
Oh, from the drive?
It's a long drive. There's not a lot of bathrooms along the way. Some people have struggle with that. And so if you're in the top tier, you can afford to just get a voluntary surgery. It's different there's a different one for men because it can do with their prostate, but it's still voluntary. Like it doesn't necessarily mean anything is wrong besides you just have to go to the bathroom a lot. But there's also one that is for men or women. Bladder Botox can be injected.
Ooh.
What?
Botox injected?
Yeah. To your bladder.
Okay.
So that you can hold it for longer.
All right.
And we have a doctor here in New York, Dr. Shusterman. He's a urologist. He says he's seen a 20% increase in requests for these surgeries since May, and he believes it is from people that are trying to make sure they can go the whole road trip from New York to the Hamptons and back
without using the potty.
Yeah, without having to make a pit stop.
Well, at least you're not telling me that it's what would be adult diapers.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even have to go. I just went.
You're like, problem solved. At least we're not like doing that in order to, because I know I've heard that drive can also have a lot of traffic and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we've all done road trips, and there's certain okay things where you can stop at for road trips, but maybe if they don't even offer that.
Yeah, and sometimes
we all can't just pee outside, Isaiah.
Well, I was gonna say, I am notorious for two things. One of them being having a small bladder, and the second thing is on road trips, I actually save people time, and that's by instead of pulling off and going to the restroom.
Don't say what you're going to say.
The bottle.
No.
I'm not going to say the bottle. I'm not going to say the bottle. I'm not going to say the bottle. I was going to say I'm fine with just pulling off the side of the highway and just going there.
No.
How much time does that save?
It saves an unreal amount of time. Let me tell you. If you get off the exits and you go to a gas station, it's at least a 15-minute stop. I'm telling you, it's 15 minutes every time. If you pull off the side of the highway, and this is more for men than it is for women, but I don't discriminate either one, and you hop out of the car and you just open up a door, use the restroom outside on the side of the highway. No one's paying attention to you anyway. You're getting like a 2-minute stop. You hit the road again. You're saving so much time.
I mean, I think that could be a crime.
It's not a crime.
It could be a crime.
I mean, if a police officer sees you, yes, it's a crime. If nobody else does, it's not a crime.
If the tree falls in the middle of the woods.
Yes.
So what we're saying is you have that approach. There's or Botox in your bladder.
Expensive surgery. Yeah. That's really only for the upper crust of New York.
Dude, I love that so much. Like, hey, are you getting Botox? You're like, yeah, you don't really look any different. You're like, it's my bladder.
I've got to go get my Botox injections, okay? I need to.
Will insurance pay for that? Probably not.
So it's an option for you, is all I'm saying.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Nikki, we've worked together for a while now.
We have.
I mean, even before the show, we worked together a lot before that. You think you figured me out?
The hot dog part. Or your soup part. Certain sides of you, sure.
That's just two of the many pieces of the puzzle.
And you guys have to realize you're only getting a part of us. There is more to us than just what's on the show.
There's a lot even that I don't think even Nikki will ever be able to solve.
There's more than hot dogs and bears.
Yeah.
That's not just the Riot.
That's right. That's just the top line. That's the top of the pyramid. There's a lot. That's the tip of the iceberg, but there's a whole lot more beneath the surface. Sometimes I think about that. I think, my mind is too complicated. And not everybody might be like this, but my mind is so complex. It's like a bear trap that nobody will be able to solve it. You know what I mean?
No one can understand it.
Not just Nikki. I mean, like trained professionals, psychologists and psychiatrists and people with degrees. They would never be able to figure out if I had to go to therapy or something. They'd never be able to solve it all.
You're right. You are more complex than I thought.
I think actually, but it sounds kind of ridiculous, but I think a lot of us have that idea of, well, like a counselor, a therapist, whatever. Like they could help somebody. They can help the average person, but they can't help me because they would never be able to figure out all that's going on in my mind. I'm more complex than most people, so I don't need their cookie cutter advice or whatever. And for one, I will say that if you feel like you are going through a lot, like you are struggling with something, it's still definitely worth it. Maybe the, fresh out of college or whatever counselor, you might need to work your way up until you find somebody who can really handle you. But it's still definitely worthwhile to check out some options in that realm. But even before that, if you think nobody can understand you, if you think nobody's going to be able to get inside your mind and figure out what it is that maybe is causing some of the stuff that you're struggling with in life, God understands your mind better than any, licensed professional ever could, even the best of them. They don't understand you as well as God does. Jesus sees your mind and he
appreciates your mind.
He appreciates it. He gets it. He knows what makes you you, and he knows what is, what causes, what was point A that led to point B in your life and all this different stuff. Jesus understands it in a way that nobody else ever could. So don't talk yourself into, well, nobody will understand me, so I guess there's just no help. What's even the point of trying to figure something out? No, God understands you, and so he is ready to help you figure out what needs to be figured out. All you need to do is talk to him. Say, hey, God, I'm ready to, I'm ready for maybe a little bit of therapy. I'm ready to start talking to you and kind of get some stuff out in the air about what I'm dealing with. And I know you already know about it, but I want you to talk to me about it as well. I want you to help me out. Jesus can do that for you, and he's going to put you on a path to figure some stuff out in your life because he loves you. He cares about you, and he understands. If you're ready for that, start talking to him. Let him talk to you. And if you want to know more, check out RadioU.com/free gift.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Well, we are into the tough time of year where there's just not a lot of sports going on. There's, we could talk about all of the NFL rumors, but, there's other shows for that. We don't need to beat that into the ground.
I think now people are just counting down to college football, so that's the sport that's going on right now is the countdown.
College football, training camp for the NFL. It's all coming in time. So in the meantime, though, we at least have baseball to worry about. And I've got some baseball news here for you, although this baseball news really doesn't take effect until 2024. But, baseball is going on now, so just a friendly reminder. You can watch it if you'd like. But starting in 2024, it looks like in 2024, the MLB is going to introduce robot umpires.
Instead of the humans, the people?
I don't know, instead or in addition to, but people have been criticizing, right? The umpires in baseball, they seem to have big egos, like to insert themselves into the conversation more so than any other sport. I would like the official in any other sport.
Is that your thoughts, or kind of like everybody's been thinking about that?
I think that's. I don't know if everybody thinks that, but wouldn't you agree? That's like
yeah, I would say teams like with below a 500 record right now are probably saying the refs are really bad. Anybody who's been losing as of late. Yeah. Per usual.
So the Guardians?
Hey, the Guardians walked off last night, baby. Hit it off in the 10th. Josh Naylor.
No, but it is. It's a long-standing complaint. You've got guys. How many NFL officials can you name?
I can name one.
Not one?
Yep.
Yeah. And in MLB, there's a lot of names that if you follow baseball, you would know. And it's not because, this guy is a great umpire. It's because Joe West, Angel Hernandez, they're always getting their name. They're always getting into confrontations, making calls, and then just making themselves a big deal.
Sounds like you're against the referees.
I am against. I think there's some really bad umpiring in baseball, and I'm not the only one. In fact, it's such a big problem that even the MLB commissioner is saying that robot umpires are coming, and he says in some form or fashion, in the 2024 season, so a year and a half from now.
They say that the criticism towards umpires, especially regarding the strike zone, is where this is really coming from, because they say most people, frustrations for fans and players tend to be there. Missed balls and strikes lead to players getting kicked out, major outcomes and problems with that. So they think that the robot umpires could focus more in that area, and then maybe plans in the future to expand to other robot umpire spots. So it work in conjunction with, human ones. But they just say that they want to eliminate some of the questions that people have on certain calls.
What's your take on this as a baseball fan?
See, I would say if a sport is going to do it, baseball makes a lot of sense because it's either a ball or a strike. You're either out or you're not out, and it's either inbounds or it's out of bounds. There's not a lot of gray area.
So a robot could get that.
Yeah, the robot could get the balls and strikes for sure. So in that area, I feel like they should have already had them because that's such a simple thing. Like some of the other sports like basketball and football, there's a lot more question and gray area where I could see it being more difficult. But also, like, on the flip side of it, too, it does take out, like, the excuse, like, the referees are against us. Like, when my team loses, I have to cope with the fact that we just lost.
It also can take out some of the drama that maybe some people like. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes baseball can be boring. So if you're missing some of the conflict for a game and
Yeah.
stuff, then maybe it would be even more boring.
Sometimes you do like to see the argument, the umpires getting into arguments for no good reason.
Or teams, blaming this or blaming that.
Yes, I love blaming the refs. There's nothing better than like leaving a ballpark and being like, man, the refs just got to stay. It
Yeah.
wasn't us, boys.
Right.
It was the refs.
If they
you won't
just
have your
called it
excuse
fairly.
anymore.
Yeah, it was just the umps. They were against us this morning.
I do want to know for if they're putting in these robot umpires, are they going to have actual like physical robots on the field?
No
Because that
way.
would be amazing. I
Running around?
I would have loved to see that, especially how like umpires can get very animated. They'll be like ball or whatever, like he's out. Like they'll go crazy.
Sure.
And that's a lot of fun to watch, actually. So they are much more animated than most referees in other sports. I think it'd be fun to have a robot umpire doing that.
Well, I'd also pay extra money if there was a fight that broke out and someone went and kicked
And
the
yes,
robot umpire.
The robot
all
ump
of a
got
sudden, all the
involved.
problems are still exactly the same. Why are the robot umpires always making such a big deal out of themselves? They're not the stars. The players are the stars.
Well, we'll have to wait till 2024 to at least find out more on what they're thinking for robot umpires for
this
baseball.
is actually one of the few decent ideas that the commissioner has had. So hopefully it works out.
Or maybe they need a robot commissioner.
There you go.
Yes.
Right there.
I didn't know you knew so much about baseball, Nikki.
Well, I tried to hide it.
Thanks for watching the worst of the Riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more Riot.